What is war? Why does nationalism cause war? Humans are social animals that have to live together as a group and depend on each other. In human life depends on all four factors from nature. Even with how advanced technology is, raw materials must be taken from products from nature. When humans want more natural resources, there must be competition for those resources and other factors, such as the existence of species, competition for territory, conflicts of beliefs with religious sects, etc. So there was a fight that, if it were a result of gathering together a large number of forces, we would call it making war. Nationalism? It is a political ideology that emphasizes loyalty to the nation-state, considering the nation as the source of everything, whether it be economic, social and cultural activities. Nationalism is therefore not just a political form but an ideal in life. The creation of a nation-state and the feelings of nationhood of people in each era and locality. Even though they have similar characteristics, they have different parts according to geography, politics, society, and history. When considering the details, the nationalism of each nation has different characteristics. Nationalism developed during the 15th-17th centuries. Was it caused by the king wanting to escape the power of the Catholic Church, and the influence of the feudal aristocracy, and the mercantilist policies? The state used the policy to support external trade as a national policy, increasing the economic power of the king and the middle class. Supporting the use of the national language instead of Latin allowed the culture of each race to flourish. And various cultural contents also turning back to Greek and Roman culture instead of Christianity. It can be said that nationalism initially was the cult of the royal aristocracy in the 18th century, which is called the period of scientific prosperity. The middle was highly educated and economically powerful. Locke's liberal political philosophy, which held that sovereignty belonged to the people, and that good government was based on the consent of the people, was popular. This idea opposes the system, theocity, which praises the king, and held that the source of sovereignty lies with God. Nationalism during this period was characterized as calling for freedom and government to be in the hands of the people. The leading country was England, where the middle class had power in parliament and carried out change using parliament, while in France the nationalists revolted to overthrow the monarchy and establish a free state. So it can be said that during this period true nationhood became the acquisition of power and the rights and liberties of the people, which those who enjoy these things are the middle class. Is therefore classified as middle-class nationalism. Commercial success, urban life, industrial economy, colonization are forms of national culture that flourished in this era. And such ideas spread throughout Europe, especially before World War I. Nationalism became ethnocentrism, attempting to unite people of the same race into a single state or group, such as German nationalism and Slavic nationalism. This new nationalism contributed to the First World War, with the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century, caused conflict between the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. The idea of socialism, which emphasizes equality, became part of nationalism in this era. The victory of the communists in Russia gave the socialists the encouragement to revolutionize, to change the new political system. This idea spread into Asia and Africa, especially the colonial countries, where nationalism and socialism were related and characterized by the struggle of the proletariat against the government. Especially in Gentile was a revolution of the left against the right. During this period it could be said that nationalism was the ideal of the proletariat. The primary causes of World War II were nationalist tensions, unresolved issues and dissatisfaction as a result of World War I and interwar Europe, as well as the effects of the Great Depression of the 1930s. Events culminated in the outbreak of war, often understood as the invasion of Poland by Nazi Germany. This military aggression was the result of decisions by the leaders of Germany and Japan. World War II began with acts of aggression and converged with declarations of war or resistance by force. Another example of nationalism is Vietnam, an underdeveloped country that was able to successfully drive out the superpower France and the superpower United States, and was able to gracefully establish Vietnam's independence, because the power of nationalist imagination is an important part. With many Vietnamese people willing to sacrifice even their lives for the power of nationalist imagination, we can see that this nationalism is a form of belief that can create the power to strengthen the morale of the nation. One and the same when the country needs unity, which can create good things in maintaining the nation when fighting against various sects that are a danger to the nation. To the point that in some cases this struggle has become into a war as the example has been given, but if the use of nationalist ideology is used too excessively, it may become chauvinism as well. Chauvinism, it is the belief that one's own race or group is superior to other groups, and the view that other groups are weak, unworthy or inferior to one's own group. It can be said that chauvinism is patriotism or extremely nationalistic, and a strong believer in national excellence, according to legend. The French soldier Nicolas Chauvin was mortally wounded in the Napoleonic Wars, receiving a pension for his injuries, but not after Napoleon abdicated. Chauvin became a fanatical admirer of Bonaparte. Although this view was not popular in France during the Bourbon Restoration, resolutely blind to his cause despite being rejected by his own factions, and disruptive enemies beginning to use the term, chauvinism has expanded from its original usage to include fanatical devotion and inappropriate partiality to a group or cause. Any group, of which one is particularly affiliated, which harbors hostility towards outsiders or rival groups, and which persists in the face of overwhelming opposition. This French quality parallels the British term, love, a warlike nation, which strictly maintains the meaning of chauvinism in the original sense, that is, a warlike nationalist attitude, wars in the past at any time and even in the wars of today. A tool for one way to arouse the emotions of the nation is nationalism, but if it is taken too far it can turn into nationalism as well, which can be the spark of war. Do you agree with this article? How not? Next time, why does repeating a lie often lead to war?